Are the microphones on?
Are they on?
Are they on?
Hello?
Hello. Segment 3. Welcome back. Danny Vegas Live in a Danny Vegas World, WCOBM. And before we get into part 4 of being single in Vegas, I do want to do a shout out to all my friends down in Hollywood and all our friends here at Las Vegas in our studio, WCOBM. We want to give a big shout out. If you're interested in having a show, now I'm going to tell you, Las Vegas is getting tight. I mean, it's getting to be like a chessboard now because people are coming on like crazy and the time frames are a little bit harder to get. So I would call Bruce at WCOBM.com right away because I'm telling you, it's getting tight over here. Almost a sellout. So anyway, but again, all our friends down in Hollywood, Pat and Court and
Caught a little lug nuts yesterday.
I love a little lug nuts. That guy's so cool.
Yeah, it was a fun show.
That was a fun show. Lug nuts, and of course Jessica from Women Who Work. All those great shows down there. So anyway, keep doing what you're doing, and the
little
Morning
Sin
Delight.
City love to Hollywood and Vine.
That's right, Hollywood and Vine. But anyway, let me tell you what we got going on. Fell ass backwards into this thing about 4 weeks ago. Had Tamara Trainer on, great gal, great friend of mine. And we got into being single for a single woman in Vegas. And that literally turned into a weekly thing. We talked about it with, of course, Jody Rocco. We talked about it, who's in her 50s. We talked about it with our friend Christy Baldashar, who's in her 30s. And I said, you know what we're going to do? We're going to make a 4-part story out of this thing. And then I'm going to take every segment, put it on a blog article, and then release all 4 segments on one blog article so you can listen and watch every single one.
So I'm fabulous in her 40s?
You are, well, you got a little twist.
Okay. All right, good.
You got a little twist.
I got some curves to be twisted.
That's right.
All
That's
right.
right. So,
okay, here we go.
So Nicole Taylor Sharp is our 4th partner. She is in her early 40s, I would say, right?
43.
43. That's still early. Still early. So, but you're coming out the gate as you're kind of freshly divorced.
True.
It hasn't been all that long.
True. I'm not to that bitter and jaded stage in dating yet. I was married for 18 years.
Right.
We're together 23.
Right.
And the paint is just finally dry on the divorce that happened a couple of months ago. We were
Right.
separated for 2 years.
Right.
But yeah, so pretty,
so you're
pretty
fresh out the gate when it comes to this. And so
still shiny, happy, positive. I
Yes.
believe in love.
Yeah, you still believe in love. So I kind of want to get into that a little bit and see if it kind of mixes with what the other ladies were saying. So my question to you is, looking back at the last, I know you were separated for 2 years, but the paint, where it was officially okay to go out and do something.
Okay.
You make any mistakes?
Did I make any mistakes?
Yeah.
Oh God, yes.
All right. Well, let's hear about being single in Vegas, freshly divorced. What did you do that you probably wouldn't do again, or probably tell someone coming out of the same situation, like, maybe it's not a smart idea to do that?
Well, number one, I believe that every single mistake is an opportunity to learn.
Yeah, I love that. I see it on the Facebook
yes,
every day.
but other than that little bit of wisdom that goes out in a lovely meme on Facebook, the first thing that I did that I realized right away I was not going to keep doing is I realized, number one, that I was going to make mistakes. And I realized quickly that I did not want to make those mistakes in my own circles. So I didn't want to be in my pond making those mistakes, right? Because you got to keep swimming in that water.
You don't want
once
to
you
fish
realize,
off the company pier, as we say.
yeah, once you realize, you go out with someone that you know that you're going to see in business, you have a lot of mutual friends, and if it doesn't work out, and for me, what I was finding is I had I had folks that I didn't want to date again, and I didn't want to keep rejecting and be known as the bitch who was breaking hearts in my friend's pool. So
Right.
so I realized really quickly that I wanted to make those mistakes or have those experiences with people outside of my own pool. So
Right.
I decided,
which of course is people you don't know very
Yes.
well.
Yeah. So I decided to try a little online dating, little internet dating.
Whoop whoop! Online dating. You know, our friend Christy Baldashar at 33 says no way to that. So, but you gave it a shot. You went out there. I mean, I've heard some great stories from the online world.
Absolutely.
And
It's just one more way to meet people.
Right.
And you go online, and both of you know that you're there for that reason.
Mm-hmm.
You can still meet someone in Starbucks or meet someone at Costco, but the point is most of the people at Starbucks and Costco aren't going there with the intention of, I'm looking for love, or whatever else people are looking for, because of course we know there's plenty of other things that people are looking for online other than that one next true love.
Okay, well, you go to Craigslist for that. But at the same time, so here's the scenario, okay? You didn't want to fish off the company pier because that can obviously cause issues. Nothing like walking in the front office and there's 3 girls in there that... That's another story. But anyway, so you didn't want to go off the company pier.
Yes.
So you said, okay, I got to go outside. Of course, the bad thing about that is you don't know these characters.
Correct.
The people that you're fishing off the company pier, you know them. You can call, talk, business, whatever. And so, but this off the company pier. So
well, this is
what
where you
happened?
go back into the joys and beauty of modern technology, because initially when you look at a profile or someone else looks at a profile, you really don't know. It's whatever they're saying. And there is something to be said. I'm in marketing.
Right.
There's something to be said for those of you looking for love online. Please speak to a relationship coach or a marketer about putting your package, God, so to speak, out there in a way that is well presented and well received. But the beauties and joy of social media is when you start messaging someone, if you get to the point of where you'll exchange telephone numbers and you put your telephone number, their telephone number in your phone, guess what shows up in your friend requests in Facebook?
Wow.
So that's the joy and beauty of social media is chances are whoever you're talking to online that you're from the same area, you're going to have mutual friends. So one of the things that I changed on my profile, and I'm not actively I have a profile anymore. I've met somebody I'd like to focus on a little bit right now. Too early to announce, but
Okay,
there's
we don't want to
hopeful
jinx
possibilities.
it. You don't want to jinx it. Okay.
There's hopeful possibilities. Hello. But what I changed my profile to is, by the way, gentlemen, if we get to a point of exchanging numbers and you show up on my friend's request, and when I look at your profile, which we will do, us ladies will look at your profile, and I see that you're in a relationship with someone that you just took to Hawaii a month before, I'm going to take a screenshot of our dating profile conversations and Facebook message it to your girlfriend.
Oh, that's mean.
You're welcome. It's not mean.
Yeah, it is mean because
It's
you
not
don't
mean.
know the situation there. You don't know. You don't know the
know,
situation. You're just doing mean things. That's
I
not
brought
right.
it up with them first, and the answer was it's complicated. And I said, you know what? Actually, it's not complicated. It's really simple. It might get complicated for you, but honey, you play, you might have to pay.
I think that's. We'll get into that. You'll be back next month, so we'll be getting back. That's just mean stuff, and D-Man don't like mean stuff. So, but we can talk about that later. But man, we're running out of time. There's so much
I
more
know,
to talk about.
There's so much to talk about.
So basically, at your point in life, being single in Vegas is not that bad.
I am having
not-
a great time. I love it. The possibilities are out there. I think one of the things is you go into a situation and you expect whatever you expect, you're probably going to get. So if you go in expecting everyone to be a jerk and everyone to be a liar and everyone to be a cheater, you're going to find that. If you go in with a positive outlook and you're a good person and you've got a great attitude, you'll find that there are 1,000 possibilities for love, dating, romance, sex, whatever you're looking for, it's out there. But what are you bringing to the table? Bring your best, get the best.
Bring your best, get the best. We'll be back with segment 4. That's a nice thing.